feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome. I apologize for the wait. If you are new here, I'm so happy to have you. My pre-existing subscribers, welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be specifically focusing on when Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were all friends back then. And we're going to be asking the question today, what happened? Now, a lot of you guys may be asking yourself, why is he investing himself in someone else's personal life? Well, I'm going to give you a simple answer for that. They brought it to us. They made it our problem by running for president. So it was our job to know, and it's our right to know what really happened that led them to that point. So this topic is very interesting. I had to write it down, add in information, just so you guys have background knowledge. If you are new here, everything will be timestamped in the description below. This will be a little bit of a longer video, particularly because I don't want to cut it down. It will probably be about 40 minutes max. So I do hope you guys like today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It will help my channel tremendously when getting out there and getting to the public. I do hope you like this video. Comment in the description below what you do think. Also, as well, just a pre-warning, we will be talking about Jeffery and Maxwell, as they are also tied into the friendship of Bill Clinton, Hillary, and Donald Trump as well. So they all play major roles. So those are the figures today. All right, without further ado, let's jump right into this. This is being live streamed on February 15th, 2021 oh my God, I never added the date. Anyway, 2022 at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just realized that. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day to all of you guys. I haven't been on because I had a really insane migraine. If you guys know how to prevent that, put that in the comment section below, as that would be very helpful. Without further ado, let's just put on some quick disclaimers. Please keep in mind this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. I personally do not know the Clintons or Donald Trump, so this is just whatever the cars say. This is just entertainment only. Alright, so we're going to cover in today's video, we're going to cover the background information on the friendship between Donald Trump and Hillary. Then we're going to go get into the tarot part of today's video. Hi, Sarah. What's up, love? All right, so the first thing that you need to know is that Hillary and Bill were often known to go on vacation with Donald Trump and the entire Trump family. What's also really interesting as well is Ivanka and Chelsea Trump. Ivanka Trump and Chelsea Clinton are also really good friends. Until today, they still are. They may have some spurs, but they are still really good friends nonetheless. We have here Trump supported Hillary Clinton's move to New York. During the Lewinsky scandal in 2000 to run for New York Senate, which Donald Trump also donated to. If you may have remembered from 2016, Donald Trump had attacked Hillary Clinton in her Senate bid, and also attacked her email scandal was occurring during the time that she was a secretary, excuse me. Donald Trump's older sister, Marianne Trump, was a judge who was appointed by Bill Clinton to the 3rd District Court in 1999 and stayed on the court until 2019. So you can obviously see that there are political favors being done here. We have here as well that Donald Trump and Melania Trump invited Bill and Hillary to their wedding in 2000. So you can kind of see that their friendship lasted beyond the presidency of Bill Clinton. We also have here as well, Donald Trump changed political party quite often. He was a Republican from 1987 to 1999, and then became also registered back as a Republican from 2009 to 2011, and then back again in 2012 to modern day present. He also identified as a Reform Party from 1999 to 2001. He also identified as a Democrat from 2001 to 2009, and of course, an independent from a very short period from 2011 to 2012. So you can kind of see this man's already confused. He doesn't really know what party he aligns with or political ideologies. One last thing before you do the tarot card reading. Trump tried to run for president in 2000 under the Reform Party off the back that the back and success of Ross Perot in both 1992 and 1996 election, was also simultaneously he was running with Hillary Clinton back then in 2000. He ended up dropping out because he was not able to get enough support to be able to sway the election to him instead of Al Gore and Bush in 2000. Oh, right. In case you do forget what these people look like, I'm going to show you a little picture to see how to have a little idea. You can kind of see here in 1996, this was Donald Trump visiting the White House, the First Lady, Hillary Clinton. We have here as well as we have Donald Trump, Melania, and Jeffrey. Right, we're going to call him Jeffrey. Now, here's the full photo that was not edited by the people on the media. We have here Donald Trump, Melania, Jeffrey, and of course Maxwell. These are the names that we're going to go by, so it does not get flagged by YouTube. We also have here as well during 2005, we have Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and of course Melania. Again, this was during their wedding, in case you did not know that. So you can clearly see there that they were obviously friends. Okay, so this is probably one of the most interesting videos I have done, at least when it comes to politics. All right, so let's start. How would you describe the relationship between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump between 1990, 2000, 2005, 2016, and 2022? So the way that we're going to do is we're going to do 4 cards, and each card is going to represent their relationship for those years. Now, we will be using this deck as I feel more drawn to this deck as it relates more to the astrology aspect and provides us with knowledge that we wouldn't have really gotten otherwise. So I hope you all had a very good, of course, Valentine's Day. All right, let's jump into this. All right. Spirit Angel, tell me about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton's relationship in the year 1990. Show me one card, please. What is one card that represents Hillary Clinton's relationship with Donald Trump in 1990s? Or the Clinton relationship with the Trumps? Okay. All right, we'll just leave it. We'll take those cards. What's the relationship like between the Trumps and Clintons in 2005? This is the overview. We're just looking right now at what the relationship was like, so we have an understanding when we go ask other questions in this video. Okay. I don't want to use all those cards, but I guess we'll just use these. They're telling me to use all the cards. All right, so Spirit Angel, tell me what's the relationship like between Clinton and Trump in 2016? What was it like? Okay, that's too many. What's the relationship like? Okay, one more. And one more. Okay, that's enough. We'll just use these. Okay. What about what's Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump's relationship in modern day? What's the relationship today in 2022? Okay. We'll just use one card because it just began the year. All right, so let's jump in. So we have here as well is how would I describe the relationship between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in 1990? We have the Queen of Wands reverse, right? And what this Queen of Wands reverse is telling me here that there was no power struggle. That's what I'm seeing here, that there was no power struggle, that they were friends before Hillary Clinton became First Lady. So they obviously were in contact in some way or some form. They might have met at a party prior. Maybe he might have donated to her the Bill Clinton campaign for governor in Arkansas in 1980s. It was very possible that they were friends back then. So it does feel like in some way that they knew each other. We have here as well as during this time, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Cups here. And what this is kind of showing me here also as well is right after they started becoming friends, that she started becoming a more nationalized figure. So this might have been around the time in 1992 with Bill Clinton running for president, or even so 1990. Where they started to go onto the political scene, where she started to become a political figure. And then eventually in 1992, Bill Clinton was elected president. She became First Lady in 1993. So it does feel like in some way or some form that there is emotional content here. It does feel like Donald Trump was friends with them before that she became a figure, but now that she is a figure, it almost feels like it threatens Trump because it feels like he's here and she's here. It almost makes him feel like he's inferior and she's superior. And so you can kind of see here that's what a masculinity is that he feels threatened by her feminine aspects where his masculine is going AWOL. Now, in the year of 2005, so just about 15 years later, this is what we have here. So the 2005, the relationship. We have here is we have the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Time. Time is not really on their side, so I do feel like by this point in time, they're starting to divide. They're meant to be at this point, they're meant to be meeting each other, they're meant to be hanging out because there is something there between the relationship that almost feels like it's a coincidence. Like it shouldn't have happened that way, but it did. And regardless of how it happened, it feels um there's like something's bringing them together, like a connection. I'm good. I'm glad. I hope you are good as well. We have here as well as we have justice. And the justice card is reversed. And what this kind of tells me here that they may have been involved in very bad things around 2005, even going within those 15 years span that we just jumped to, that they might have been almost like partners in crime, is the best way to do it. Is that I feel like they've been doing some bad things that wouldn't be good in the eyes of the law, so to speak. Now, this is just for entertainment purposes only. You can only make an assumption what that will be with this photo. So hopefully this will maybe potentially giving you an idea of what we could be talking about here. Right? We have here is we have the death card reverse. And the death card reverse kind of talks about a rebirth, like something being brought back up. They thought they hit it. They thought they hit all those skeletons. They thought they hit the bodies, but it turns out they did not. And so that could be why QAnon conspiracy come into play here, where Donald people are in Q were saying that Donald Trump knew what Hillary Clinton was doing and he was trying to protect the country from her and stuff like that. Well, it does feel like in some way that they both thought that they were hiding the skeleton, but it feels like in some way or some form that that is going to be surfaced. So it does feel like there is in some way or some form that there are going to be some conspiracy theory that was funded by both of them to try to mitigate and make people think that, oh, it was just a conspiracy when it may be possibility that it may have actually been true. Not saying that all of it is true, right? It is funded though. It does feel like it is funded in some way just to deter some of the negative things that they have done in the past. We also have the strength card in reverse. This is shuffled really well. So the fact that all these major cards come in really does highlight a lot of things. We do have here though vulnerability, and the vulnerability here kind of tells me is that a lot of this information that has not been released yet is very vulnerable to both of them, and they will both be in big trouble if this were to come out. So you can definitely say even if the relationship ended, they're still going to be in contact with one another. Because if this was to ever come out, the tower card will happen, tower moment will occur to them, and that would be very detrimental to both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Now, we also have here, now going to 2016, a relationship in 2016. Now, you can kind of take a picture and imagine what that was like as we all have lived through it. The first card that comes up is the 1, 2, 3, 4, not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's not 9 of Pentacles here. Right, and you have this woman with a bird, but her arms are crossed, and you kind of get this eerie energy from that card, like almost like very similar to Snow White with the wish giving Snow White the apple, the poisonous apple. It feels like in some way that there's some sort of negative energy here that's forming in 2016. We also have here the next card that came in is we have an offer. So it's the 4 of Cups here, right? Meditation, but the 4 of Cups here is being in the air, holding. That they both had an opportunity here, but one was more calmer, where the other one's more chaotic. But you can kind of see here that when the person is calm, there are the cups on the opposite side, which means that there's some polar opposite, that there's more distant. Whereas the one in the air, even though it was very verbosity and very negative, it was able to bring those cups together. Just talks about the relationship between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton with their own voters and their own voting base in 2016. Hi, Catherine. What's up, love? You must be new here. Wait, no. You must change your profile. I remember you, love. How are you, love? Thank you. Thank you for the donation. I really do appreciate it. We have here as well as we have the 5 of Swords here. And what this card really symbolizes here is symbolizes betrayal. It symbolizes the fact that this person was thought that, oh, I thought you were on my side, but you betrayed me. Now, we're going to go later into that to a video why that could be and what this could be. There is claim that Donald Trump was asked by Bill Clinton and Hillary to run in 2016 to help Hillary Clinton become president. Now, that is just an accusation that was made by others. I am just exploring it. I'm not saying it's true or not true, but the card does come up in 2016 and it does talk about betrayal here. So it could be something entirely different. It could be about her emails, maybe what we talked about before about the dark past in 2005, and that maybe he brought it up in 2016, and so that might have ended their relationship. We also have here as well that there is an agreement here that these were both candidates in 2016. So there is understanding here that both of them played a major role in the United States, but also they were both very emotional. So a lot of them acted very emotionally during the 2016 election, which is why they kept attacking each other the way that we never saw two presidential candidates attack, because they were going from their emotion. And even though on the public stage, we thought they were attacking and defending the country or one side or the other, but really they're attacking each other based on their emotion and trying to almost like, in a way, negatively communicate with how they feel about their relationship with one another. So that is in 2016. Now, modern day in 2022, how is the relationship today? What we have here is we have the Sixth of Cups reverse. And the Sixth of Cups reverse talks about here the fact that there's some ending. There's some ending that's coming soon, particularly for one of them. Potentially, maybe one of them may pass away, or one of them may just say, we're no longer friends. But they are friends today because it was tactic. They're not like completely like friends, but they're also not like strangers. They're just there, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm seeing in this card in 2022. So Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, you can clearly see here already that a lot of them are friends, and a lot of them have a lot of crazy things going on. So how you doing, Catherine? I hope you had a good Valentine's Day. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at the very next question that we're going to ask today, which is, did Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have an affair with each other? Now, the reason why I asked the question particularly is, you kind of have to look at the whole entire thing that's going on and kind of ask yourself, it kind of feels like they're like secretly lovers in some way. Not saying that they possibly could have, but it will be interesting to explore if they might have. Which could have been awkward. It could have been why they're no longer friends, or why they don't hang out, or stuff like that. They could have been involved in stuff with minors, involving Maxwell, and of course Jeffrey Epstein. So there is something here that could be very interesting to explore. So let's take a look. All right. So Spears and Angel, tell me, did Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton have an affair with one another? Is that why it's so toxic between them when it comes to communication? I'm glad you're able to catch a live too. I'm glad you're good. They used to be friends. Thank you for telling me that, Catherine. Let me just put this up so people can see it. Okay, so we have here the Ace of Wands. That's the bond deck here. Okay, so we're asking, did Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton had an affair? Now, if you may have remembered, this card come up as like one of those dark little secrets, the superiority, alpha and delta, dominant versus submissive. It does feel like in some way that there is some sort of energy here that is being formulated. We have here as well, though, is we have the World's card. No, I do not feel like they may have had an affair, but they may have allowed their partners to have an affair with one another. So it almost feels like in some way, maybe Hillary let Bill and Trump let Melania go at it like dogs, so to speak. That's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that there is a potentiality here where we can see that there might have been some sort of course, jealousy or gross thing. That's the best way I could put it. We have here as well as we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 6 of Wands reversed. And it kind of refers here to the fact that there is victory, but there is no victory. And it falls underneath this, again, this complex between superiority and dominance. It's dominant. Potentially, there could be a scenario where there was no consent, and just one of them was making a deal, and they could have done it in a way that one of them could have been a victim of. Now, I don't want to say it flat out because it's just for entertainment purposes only, but you can probably make an assumption about what I am talking about. We also have here infighting. We don't have like personal, like actually physical or domestic abuse here that we're dealing with. It does feel like in some way that it's more verbal than it is physical. So you can be relaxed, or it might have just been a verb, like a non, verbal thing, like a non-dominant one. All right, so final outcome card for the spirits and angels. Did they have an affair with each other? Did Melania and Bill Clinton have an affair? Okay, that seems the card to come out for that one. Okay, we have major arcanas for these, right? So we have the strength card, no, justice card, right? The justice card is reverse here, wrongdoing. We have the death card, rebirth, right? When a woman gives birth, she's releasing something new into the world, but also rebirth as a reincarnation. We also have here the strength card of birth. And what it talks about here is that there is some sort of way or some form that it feels like. Let me back up what I'm saying here. It feels like in some way or some form they may have participated or even entertained the idea of doing such a thing between Bill and Melania. So yes, there's some sort of conflict here. So if you're wondering if there's a conflict of interest, yes, there is a conflict of interest. Okay, so when Trump and Clinton hung out and regularly, are they all tied to the connection of Jeffrey and Maxwell? All right, so let's take a look. Okay, excuse me, Spiel Standards will tell me when Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton hung out regularly from the 90s, the 80s, to early 2000s, 2010s, and 2020. But they all have a connection to Jeffrey and Maxwell. Let me just pull up a picture so we can all see. Did they have a connection to Jeffrey and Maxwell? Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Mm-hmm. The bottom deck here, the magician card reverse. All right, so did they have a connection? We have here there was a proposition being made. So it does feel like we know how we talked about in the last question that we just discussed. We talk about someone being sold out to the other individual for some sort of deal that's being made, but it was without the consent of that person. It does feel like in some way that potentially that could have been how Melania and Trump met. It could also be as well Donald Trump and Bill Clinton making a deal with somebody. It could be Jeffrey or Maxwell, right? So this is where the deal comes in. We have the Three of Wands reversed, or the Three of Swords, excuse me, reversed. And it crosses the heart. It does feel like in some way that there is no love relationship. It's more of a business relationship. So their connection to Jeffrey and Maxwell relies based solely on their business adventure, which is why they don't really have that emotional friendship connection. So no, they're not friends with Jeffrey or Maxwell. They have a business relationship, which means they may have potentially bought things or may have participated in things that Maxwell and Jeffrey were offering. We have here as well, we have the Queen of Wands here. When this was occurring, Hillary Clinton was not Senate. So this is around the 90s when this might have been occurring, which explains why in 2005 there was some dark secrets that they wanted to keep hidden that we talked about earlier in today's video. So this could be what this card is referring to here, keeping things down so that it does not reveal into the light. It does feel like this is a time frame here. It gives me a time frame that this stuff most likely occurred from early 90s all the way to before Donald Trump wedding in 2005, right? So to further add more information we have here, we have the Ace of Wands here. An Ace of Wands here card, it kind of resemblance to me is the fact that this may have took place in California. It may have been something related to Hollywood. So that could be where this is referring to as well, that this could be from Hollywood and that potentially there's some sort of promise here that maybe to this individual that, oh, I can make you a star as long as you do what I ask you to do. I kind of feel like there's like some sort of bribery going on, but it's like more of a sexual assault nature when it comes to Jeffrey and Maxwell, which could be that offer that maybe potentially how he got Melania. We have the stunt card. And the stunt card comes up as an automatic yes, and that is a very positive. So yes, they do have a very strong connection, both the Clintons and Donald Trump, when it comes to Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think that that is too far-fetched. I think that is right around exactly what we're referring to. We have here as well, we have a three of Pentacles. A lot of the transaction was done in a way that it cannot be followed. So it does feel like if they were to find it, they have to really look for these things. But most of them are by word of mouth rather than physical paper. So there's no document or trail, so to speak, where they can physically find evidence to prove that there is a connection between Clinton, Trump, and the Maxwell's Epstein thing. We also have here the final nail in the coffin here is we have the world. It's known as the dark underworld or the hidden or black market. Something that's not seen publicly, but it's operating behind the scenes, right? That's exactly what they're doing. So yes, this is further confirmation if you need it, but yes, they do have a connection to Maxwell and Jeffrey. Okay, so the next question I want to cover today is what's with the relationship between Hillary and Donald Trump, or was it a publicity stunt? Now, I'm not saying or endorsing that these things may or may not have happened, but the way my channel works is I talk about a topic and then I explore the possibilities and questions that normally will go with that topic. So that's what this video is for. Okay. So, Spirit Angel, tell me about the relationship between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. What soured it? What soured their relationship? Was it a publicity stunt? Okay, that was quick. All right, so we have here as well as we have the three cards here, right? And then we have the publicity stunt card. We have the strength card, and that card comes up as reverse, which is interesting because that card keeps coming up in reverse in the other tarot deck that we will use then. And what this card kind of symbolizes here is that it feels like the energy for both of them had gotten so out of control that Hillary at times wants to dominate Trump and Trump wants to dominate Hillary. I feel like there's some sort of dominance issue here. There's some alpha, the dog, right? That's the card that comes up for strength. We have here the Fool, right? It feels like in some way someone made the wrong move, or somebody said, don't do this because we don't want you to do it, or because it's going to cause this, this, and this. But the person went out and did it anyway. And so there's some sort of betrayal in this aspect that potentially that maybe in some way, I don't know exactly what they were talking about here, so it's really hard to describe it. So I can just describe the potential action what took place. But it does feel like somebody told, just say, for example, you're telling your friend, hey, don't do that. That's really bad. I don't recommend you do that. But they go out and do it anyway, or your friend asks you for relationship advice and you tell them not to do something because that guy is not nice or he has a bad history, and they go out and do it anyway, then they go cry to you and say that what happened, even though you told them not to do it. That's why that card shows up here. That card shows up here, the rebirth, that it's an end of relationship. So it does feel like somebody here in one of them, either Hillary, Bill, Trump, or Melania, one of them promised the other not to do something. They went out and did it anyway, and that ended their friendship. So something here is what occurred that potentially ended their friendship. This could even be so far-fetched as the presidency, which would be the publicity stunt. We have the Chariot. This card comes here as well. Kind of shows me at first it was a publicity stunt, but then it wasn't, if you know what I mean. It feels like they were just putting on a show for people just to entertain people. But then after a while, it actually became a reality in which they actually started not liking each other. So there was a communication issue. It's kind of like two children who don't know how to communicate and use the public, or like Twitter, for example, tweeting out how they feel to the public so the public knows exactly how they feel. And they're just attacking each other, but they're not physically communicating, they're attacking constantly. And that's what I'm seeing here as well, is that there is some energy here that they need to resolve. So this is trauma that both of them have caused each other, and why we're in this predicament, and the reason why the country is the way it is, because they have a communication issue. right? That's why we're covering today's video. Normally, I wouldn't cover something as personal as this, but it affects our lives. And so we need to really understand here why it's such a big thing and why we should really focus on why and what happened. So the question that we have here now is they both praised each other as great leaders. Why walk back? What really happened? So let's see if maybe we can get more information on what happened that we just spoke about. Where's the hangman card? It just came up. Alright, I guess not. Okay, Spirit Sandra, can you tell me why did they praise these? Why did Hillary praise Trump and Trump praised Hillary that they were going to be great leaders or presidents or even like senators? What changed? What made them walk back? Okay, temperance, right? The inability to communicate, the inability to feel calm, right? They're not really thinking with their mind, they're thinking with their heart, right? And not the temperance here, anger. Right, exactly. Right, it's anger here. That's what we have here. The first card we have anger. This is my election card. So this is talking about 2016, right? We have anger, right? We're talking about making it was a publicity stunt that ended up becoming a non-publicity stunt. So much so that they're actually acting out their feelings publicly, right? This is during the 2016 election, the U.S. presidential election. And because of their anger, it tapped into a base, into an American base that wasn't able to fully able to communicate with one another, so much so that it divided relationships, divided marriages, got rid of people and families, friends, friendship. All that comes down to the reason why the United States is experiencing everything that it is this is karmic. And the karmic energy revolves around communication. So if you're wondering how Donald Trump or Hillary came to be, it came to be due to the communication skills. That's why people were so drawn to the 2016 election because it revolved around communication. A lot of people lack that communication skill, right? And then because of it, somebody had to take a major defeat, a major walk, a loser, so to speak. And it really affected a lot of people's ego. You know, people were so happy that Hillary was going to be president on the Democratic Party side, and the same thing with the Republicans. That one of them had to lose, and a lot of people had a lot to lose going forward when it came to being president. And so it does feel like in some way that their problem became our problem. Because their problem became our problems, it made a bigger problem because a lot of people weren't able to communicate, and because of that, we lost a lot of things, right? And it was a tower moment, it was an upset, it was a shakeup in the United States, right? That's what happened, right? Was that they're lacking inability to communicate, right? So if you're wondering what the main purpose of this video today for you is just to communicate with your partner, communicate with them. The next question that we're going to ask today is there are rumors that Donald Trump was asked by Hillary Clinton to run for president in 2016 to help Hillary Clinton win. Is this true? Let's take a look. Now, I'm not endorsing this, but it's an interesting question nonetheless to explore. So let's take a look. Okay. So, Spirit Angels telling me there are rumors that Donald Trump was asked by Hillary Clinton. Trump was asked by Hillary Clinton or the Clintons in general to run for president in 2016 to help Hillary Clinton win in 2016. Is this true? We have the Emperor card here. This is the presidency card, right? The president. No, it is not true. It's actually the opposite. So what I see here is that Donald Trump was asked not to run for president by the Clintons, potentially because Hillary Clinton knew in some way that he could tap into a very dark base that wouldn't that would be go unnoticed, known as the Tea Party, right? And so what I'm seeing here that no, Hillary Clinton did not ask Donald Trump to run for president. She asked him not to run. And so, if you may have remembered or you just hopped on, we just spoke about in our last question, the last two questions, we talked about a betrayal. An action was told one of the because we didn't know what was happening because they didn't tell us exactly what was occurring. That one person told the other person not to do something and they went ahead and did it. This could be what ended their relationship between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, was the fact that Hillary or the Clinton told Trump not to run for president in 2016, and he went and did it anyway. And so that could have been what soured their relationship together, was just that one little action. We have the Emperor card here, right? We're talking about the presidency. The office is vacant. That Barack Obama is leaving office. He served 2 terms. The maximum in the United States Constitution states a president could be in for 2 terms only, maximum, right? We have here the Knight of Swords here. This is the emptiness. The presidency is vacant. We have here the government here, the Hierophant. What it talks about is, I'm going to be the next one in line. I'm going to make history. This card will resemble Hillary Clinton, the establishment. So it does feel like in some way or some form that what really started it was the running for president is what really ended the relationship. And we also have here as well, we have the 5 of Pentacles. One person had a lot more to lose than the other, and one of them was just doing it out of spite. Right? So that's interesting turn of events. The next question that we're going to ask today is, if yes, was everything for show, or was it at first an idea of power that went to Donald Trump's head that Clinton hit harder after she realized? So basically what that thing was to mean that if it was true that yes, Hillary Clinton asked Donald Trump to run for president, is it true that power went to Donald Trump's head, and that's how it became very tactic in the 2016 election? As we all know, Clinton told Donald Trump not to run. But it will be interesting to ask the question, did power get to his head, and if that's why he decided to run and do it anyway and damage their relationship together? Did power, the idea of power in the presidency, get to Donald Trump's head in 2016? If this one of the reasons why he disregarded Clinton's advice not to run for president in 2016? It's just one of the reasons why. Okay, so what this card is telling me here, what this reading is telling me here, that there was a trust issue. That Donald Trump knew that what happened in 2005 when we read on it is that he wasn't sure if Hillary Clinton was going to throw him under the bus. Maybe you heard a rumor from somebody who said, oh, Hillary's going to throw you under the bus if she becomes president. And so he took it upon himself to try to make sure that he can mitigate that, so that he doesn't end up in jail for whatever it is that they did. We don't know exactly what they did, but they did something, both of them. And so that's what I'm seeing here. The motive here behind his action to run for president was because to prevent an action that both of them took and prevent Hillary from throwing him under the bus. Right? It does feel like in some way, he may have been betrayed or bitten by Clinton by a few times. And so there was enough times where he got fed up and that he was so willing to end a very strong relationship together. It does feel like in some way it was a very big breakup. It was something massive that had occurred between the two that they had to end it. That we have the Ace of Pentacles. He took the opportunity. He did a poll and he found that he can actually have the viable base to tap into. He never thought he would win, right? But he thought that if he tried, there's a possibility that he can mitigate it, that he can change the narrative, spin it, so that people don't look at him for what happened, that they can look at her and blame her. But really, both of them are false here. We also have here the Judgment card. It all comes down to the way the public review both of them, right? That's just what it really comes down to, is how they were viewed and how they don't want to be viewed. It's changing the narrative in the public's eye so the public doesn't really know what's the truth. That is what I'm seeing here. That's a really interesting thing today. We made sure, yeah. Well, I'm not sure. I really wasn't born in the 90s, but thank you for the information. We have here, there was a magazine article in 1998 that Trump said he will run as a Republican because he could lie and they would believe him. Yeah, exactly. It would very well fit what we're talking about today. It would definitely fit what we're talking about. And I think that potentially, by that point when he said if he were to run, people will eat up anything that he said, is true. It's true nonetheless, right? What could be explained why, yes, the Republicans may have hated the healthcare that Hillary Clinton gave for young children, it does feel like in some way that isn't the full reason, but it may have been a reason why Mitch McConnell was so arrogant against Barack Obama. All right, so let's take a look. Next question that we have here: did the people really choose who they wanted as the candidates in 2016, or were they told who we wanted? Is that how 2016 and how Hillary and Trump came to be? So, for example, the media in 2020 told us that the best candidate to defeat Donald Trump would be Joe Biden, right? Other people, other people have different opinions. People wanted different leaders. People wanted Stacey Abrams. Oh my God, I don't have no idea who ran for the Democratic nominations. So I do apologize, but people wanted other people, right? The media involved themselves and told us who we should want as our leader, right? So the question is, do we really choose who we really wanted as the candidates in 2016? Is that how Trump and Hillary came to be in the first place? Were we told that Donald Trump and Hillary were the best candidates? Donald Trump is a little bit different because nobody really said that he was the perfect candidate, but Hillary Clinton was a different idea. Between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton was seen as the golden trophy, so to speak. So let's take a look. So Spears Angel, tell me, were the people told, the American people told, who would be best suited for them to lead their country and represent them, without the people actually physically thinking who they really wanted to represent them in the country? Okay. We have here, yes. It's basically wealthy. That's why anybody who has money can buy elections or become president or leader, because the media here, right, this is the office, right, whatever political office, does not matter what political office, can just pay enough money by the media to be able to win the seat by not fully representing the real people. The people sometimes vote against their own interests because they're not smart enough to know what's best for them. Right? This is why Bernie Sanders was not able to win, because he wanted to help people, but people voted against him because of the fear that the media told them. So it does feel like in some way it's an automatic yes. Yes. A lot of people vote against your interests many times because if you have enough money, you can change the narrative and make people fear. When you fear, you're not likely to think about what's really best for you. You're likely to think about what's best for everybody else, but not best for you. Right? You voted in the primaries early in Texas today. Let's go better. Good job, Catherine. Good. I'm actually going to read on that soon, too, the results soon. Will Hillary be called to testify about things to know about found out by Trump with the Russia probe? Yeah, I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm waiting to see if the actual information on that is true. I don't want to make a video on that and if it turns out to be just fabricated information. So we're going to wait a little bit before I do a video on that. Hillary was tried in the media. She got played. Yeah, basically. Yep, that is correct. All right, so let's do the next question. We're almost done, I promise you. The next question is we have here: what happened on election night when Trump was declared the winner in 2016? Have you ever actually wondered what Hillary and Donald Trump were going through during that night when the election was called? Let's take a look. What happened on election night when Donald Trump was declared the winner in 2016 presidential election? How was Hillary and Trump feeling? How were they feeling? Okay. And how is Hillary feeling? How is Hillary Clinton feeling? Okay. Okay, so this is Donald Trump, this is Hillary, right? How are they feeling in 2016? We have here, he's tried to take as many shots, but I kind of see here, he's tried to land as many arrows as possible, right? Try to say as many outlandish things to get people to remember his name, so when they go and vote, that's the person that they vote for, right? American people are stupid enough to just see the first name that they see and vote for it, no matter what their interests are. Right. We also have here as well, we have the general election, right? The election was being held. He wasn't sure if he was going to win. This was the night of election night in 2016. We have here, he's inching closer to becoming president, right? So I kind of see here 232 or 235 in electoral votes. So this is around the time that that was occurring. It does feel like they're about to call the presidency soon, right? And then the three states came in: Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. right? And it declared Donald Trump the next president of the United States, right? So that is what I'm seeing here. There's a celebration, but those 3 states came into play. And the storyline here goes, how was Donald Trump feeling in 2016 when they called him the winner? Okay, the first thing that I heard here was that he felt like a fool, right? Just looking at the card, he felt like a fool because he thought that he was going to win by a bigger margin. He thought that he can actually win by a landslide. Like, that was the first thing that he felt. But nonetheless, he felt like a winner in some way. But he also felt upset because now he had the spotlight on him. And when the president had the spotlight on him, everything gets exposed. We have here, the night of stories. Donald Trump did not want to be president. He did not want to win, right? He did not want to be exposed. But could explain why, his dad secretly that he did not want to be president. That's why he thought he would never become president. And we have here as well, we have the 2 stories. He had no idea how close the election would have been. So it feels like in some way or some form, he didn't believe in his own heart that the election was a lot closer than he originally thought. Now, as for Hillary, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And how is Hillary feeling on election night in 2016? We have the Wheel of Fortune, divine timing, right? This is my time. This is my time to be president of the United States. It's my time to be the next leader, the next person in history, right? Underneath the general election card here, we have here justice. I'm going to get what I deserve. I'm going to get what I deserve. But really, that falls underneath the general election card. And what this tells me here that she thought that she was going to get what she deserved and not with the presidency, but instead she got karma. And the karmic energy, and I always told you guys that the karmic energy between why Donald Trump was president and Hillary Clinton was not, was the karmic energy and the soul contract for both of them is that Hillary Clinton, before she became a person or individual here on this earth, both Donald Trump and Hillary signed that they were going to meet at a certain point in time, and that they were eventually going to have to end up in this race, and that Hillary was going to experience an outcome where she was supposed to win, but ended up having it stolen from her, where Donald Trump was to won and have it be that Donald Trump did not want to be president, so that Donald Trump can get the comment that he deserved by being in the public spotlight, while Hillary had to sit back and realized that her time was taken away from her. And so that's the soul contract. That's the karmic energy as to why they both experienced what they did. Now, underneath here, we have the Knight of Pentacles right before they declared the election winner. We have the Page of Swords. She really thought that she was going to pull through. She really thought that she was going to pull through and that she was going to swing in and cut it. But then she realized that she's about to lose and that there's going to be a Republican in the seat, that she won't have enough votes to even succeed him, that she won't win, right? And this is election night. This is my election night card, overlooking the United States voting and realizing, holy crap, this is not what I expected to look like. And then we have here the victory called, and of course, Donald Trump was declared the winner. And because of that, once Donald Trump was declared the winner, this is how she felt. Like she was pushing, trying to become president, and it was basically taken away from her. So that is what we see here. Now, the next question we actually have here is actually submitted by a subscriber named Dennis Thomas. And he asked, why did Hillary concede early instead of waiting? So let's take a quick look at that. I think that would be a very interesting question to ask, because that's a very important question. I do think this topic is really interesting, so I do hope you guys like it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It's really going to help the channel. And don't forget to comment in the description below or in the comment section what you do think of today's video. Now, if you have just joined in, everything with timestamps in the description as well if you want to jump to a certain part of this video after it's ended. So let's take a look. Why did Hillary concede early instead of waiting for the results? Why did Hillary concede early instead of waiting for the election results in 2016? Why did she concede early? Okay. You see, this card came up before, right? So they're both tied together. She knew she wasn't going to win. That there was no way that she was going to be able to break that wall, that she was going to be able to put Trump out. We have here victory. The challenge is victory. Is she going to win? She knew at some point that she was going to win. That's what she felt. That was her ego talking. But the challenge is her winning, right? We have here the divine. We have the Wheel of Fortune card, right? Talking about the fact that she felt like it was her time to be president. But then she realized later on that she was not going to be that. She didn't have enough Democratic votes in the states that she really needed to be able to win the presidency. So she conceded because she knew that she was going to lose. And she wanted to concede before they announced that she was going to lose, just to kind of alleviate some of the pressure that she considered a loser that Donald Trump would call her. Okay, so the last you have two more questions. I promise you. We're done. I promise you. The last one that we have here. What was it like for Hillary and Trump after the presidential election was called many months later? So let's take a look. What happened here? Why are there so many cards upright? Okay. Half the deck is like in half. Weird. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look. Alright, so Spears hands with Tommy. What was it like for Hillary and Donald Trump during many months after they called the presidential election withdrawals? What was it like for both of them? One card for each. And what was it like? And who is this? This is Donald Trump. I just heard that. And how did Hillary Clinton feel after the election was called many months later? Now, we know that she made a book called What Happened, but how did Hillary Clinton really feel? Okay. I'm going to start with Hillary because this is open. What I felt here, the first thing I heard that she felt relieved. She felt like, even though she wanted to be president in a way, she felt like, I can breathe. Like she just felt like something has been lifted off of her. Like she felt calm, like she felt at peace. So she was okay. Even though she wanted to be president, that was her innermost desire. She felt like a semblance of peace. Like she felt at bay. Like she wasn't upset. She wasn't crying. She just felt peaceful. Like she felt like even though there was trouble ahead for the country, personally, internally, she felt peaceful. Right? She felt like she can manifest what it is that she wants, that she had the money, that she had the power now, that she had the control, that she had the ability to mitigate or dictate who is going to be the next Democratic candidate, or how the states are going to go and stuff like that. It felt like because even though she lost the election, she knew that she had the popular vote, and because of that, she knew that she has some sense of power, even if she's not actually president, like physically president. Now, how Donald Trump felt, he felt very concerned because this card resembled around Donald Trump organization. So he felt very worried after the call, but he had to stick through. He can't just back out now because if he backs out now, he's in a public figure and people want to try figuring out, okay, why did he back out? And then it's going to make sense. Investigation is going to open up. So he just sucked it through. But it feels like in some way he was worried. He did not want to be president. Right? He knew that this was coming and that people want to try to do whatever they can to bring him down because they knew that he's guilty of something. She felt relieved because she's not in the public spotlight because they both participated in something very bad. We don't know what that is because in the video never really mentioned what they did, but it kind of gave us an idea. But one of them was getting crucified for it. The other one was kind of like walking away, getting away with this, so to speak. Right? That's what I'm feeling, and that's what happened. Now, the last question that we're going to ask today is, what is the final takeaway of today's reading? What is something that you should take away from this reading? And I feel like it would be very interesting to see what our guys have to say about today's topic. Spirit Angels, tell me, what is the main takeaway of today's video? Okay, they're going to tell us a little bit of the story. That money was involved, right? And it took with Maxwell and Jeffrey that they were involved, that there is connection here, and it had to do with business relationships. It also talks about monetary funds, how Donald Trump funded the Clinton, and how Donald Trump and Clinton made many deals, including the Clinton Foundation, her Senate run and stuff like that. There is a lot of donations here of some sort. We have here the fighting, the division, the lack of ability to communicate. We have here as well the Night of Wands, not giving up, realizing that once you're in it, there's no way that you can back out, or otherwise people are going to start investigating why you backed out. And of course, as well, betrayal. Right, we're talking about here being told not to run for something and you go out and do it anyway, and basically betray your two friends who you thought weren't good for you. So that is the main takeaway of today's video, is that the reason why Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are no longer friends rely on one thing, and that is the fact that Donald Trump was told by Clinton not to run for president, and he went and did it anyway. That's the moral of today's video. And it was interesting. I do hope you guys liked today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below what you do think of today's video. I love you, and I hope you have a very beautiful day. Hope you all had a very, very nice Valentine's Day. Bye, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.